Welcome to the Geeks, 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. This is Lil.
And this is Steve.
And tonight, we are reviewing I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
We had to finish the series.
Well, there's going to be another one to add at some point, I guess. Rumors are.
Well, they can only go up from here.
So, a group of teenagers in Colorado find themselves being stalked and killed one by one by a mysterious figure with a hook exactly 1 year after they covered up a friend's accidental death. This movie actually stars some people that are like in some movies and TV now. Brooke Nevin, David Patekau, Tori DeVito, Ben Easter, Seth Packard, Casey Clyde, and others. I mean, they're not movie stars, but they're still working. Shockingly, after making this movie, they actually still are working. Steve, I hate this movie with all of my heart. This is a 0 to the 10th degree. And I was like, okay, I'm watching it. I'm like, this is a terrible made for TV,
straight to video,
VHS, straight for video movie. This director who has actually made movies after this, he did The Losers and other things. I'm watching this and I'm like, what kind of fucking pretentious, weird shit is going on here? Cutscenes showing the trees and grass and nature and, quick,
what was that psychedelic? Weird?
I don't know. and whatever film that they were using for this was so
it was filmed on the same device they were receiving text messages on. Whatever that Nokia phone was, that's what they were filming on.
The Motorola flip phones that they were using here. I was like, man, this is a damn time capsule for sure. It was like right as technology was getting there, but right before it actually got good. No, I hate this movie. This movie is a 0. We'll get to it. We'll get to the turning point of where this movie went from like, okay, maybe it's a low sidekick to maybe this is the most garbage thing I've ever seen. 0 for me.
I agree with you. It is a 0. And I was automatically turned off not by the acting. I don't actually think that the acting is that terrible for a low budget movie. I really don't. We've seen way worse. And from everybody involved, I think they actually did okay. They played their parts.
And they're all still actors, so they can do something.
Their roles. You're the jock that's got an edge. You're they all played that really well. And for a second, right, like in the third act, when people started getting it, and I'm like, oh shit, like we're seeing some kills. Like, and that's one thing that the summer series has taught us is that we don't see a lot of on-screen deaths. There's a lot of off-screen, a lot of discovering of bodies, not a lot of high body counts. They go to a goddamn resort in the second one and, oh, wouldn't you know it? Nobody else is here. Great. But like here, we actually do get to see a few deaths on screen and not just the cast we've been following, some ancillary characters. So that was good. And I'm thinking like right here, we're getting to the scene and a crazy death happens. And I'm like, is this movie going to actually go into sidekick territory? Is it going to do it? And then it does something that I didn't expect.
Same here.
And I went, oh no. Like you had it. You were so close. And then you did this thing. You made this choice. And there's no way I can go with you anymore on this. This is rough. Yeah. This is bad.
My text to you, Steve, you got to be fucking kidding me.
My reply was like, if I had to suffer through it, so do you. So, and I think a little that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So when that happens, it just changes my opinion of the movie. Yep. So 0.
I guess we'll get into it.
Spoilers.
Let's not talk about the fact that this movie takes place in Colorado.
Yeah, why is there a fisherman with a slicker and a hook running around here?
Like at a ski resort that's out of season. Wow. Like you really You shot where you could and wrote the story around that. You found like, hey, there's this out of season ski resort we can totally film there. It's cheap. Like,
yeah. I mean, I was almost anticipating the Shredder movie we reviewed this year as well, popping out of here. But we have to get to the plot and how this whole thing went about. They were at a fair on 4th of July. You know, all these high schoolers, and you know they're all having a good time and everything. And then the fisherman comes out of nowhere. They tell the story of the fisherman to their friends, to like the old scary camp tales kind of thing. And he attacks the kids, and everybody's running, screaming for their lives. The cop is there with his deputy, and the cop is, dad to one of the kids involved. And we
when
find
that
out
kid started skateboarding on the roof, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I agree.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I was like, why would you do this? Why are you?
And then
why would you skateboard down the roof? What is
he does this move that we don't see how it ends, but I'm just like, well, there's no way that could have ended good. Like, what's going on?
And that's the thing that drives me the most crazy about this. So we find out it's a prank, right? We find out that one of their friends dressed up in this. There was fake blood with the slash, everything. And they set up these mattresses on the side of this building, which is probably, I don't know, 20 feet in the air or so. It's got to be maybe even taller. Remember that episode of The Office with Michael Scott, where he was going to jump off the roof because he was trying to tell everybody how stressful jobs can be and land on a bouncy house. And everybody's like, no, if you do this, you're going to die.
Yeah,
guess what?
That kid would have died either way, whether those mattresses were there or not. But I loved how they come running up and they're like, who moved the mattresses?
Well, and that's the thing. This movie doesn't explain who moved the mattresses and why there was a fucking, I don't know, combine over there that this kid fell on top of with a pole that went through him.
But the crazy thing is that they showed that pole, that smokestack or whatever that was sticking out of his chest, and at the top of it, it had this lid with this extra little ledge on it. It like was bigger at the top, but that whole it was like his shit was like tight around that pole. Like there was no extra where that went.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was just cheap. But like at the same time, then they go and they're like, we have to swear to secrecy. They do the thing. They do the I know what you did last summer thing. And honestly, besides the fact that yes, I was like, why is he skateboarding? Oh, because it was supposed to be a prank. That makes a little bit more sense. Yes, the combine shit is irritating now in hindsight, because at that point I thought maybe they were going to explain that. They never did. So that does become an issue. But at this point in the movie viewing experience, it wasn't. And I was like, that's actually a pretty cool thing. That kid's gonna be going to the military. He's got a lot of family members. A lot of people know him around town. Somebody's gonna be pissed off that he's dead. This is a decent setup. Not bad.
And they set up, so we get to a year later, like all these movies, and they set up all the kids the friends that are left are all estranged from each other. Fine. You know what? The same fucking movie we already watched. So
the worst line was when they were on that Ferris wheel in the beginning and they're telling that story, and then at the very end of the scene, one girl just looks into the sky and she's like, 4th of July. Or no, she says July 4th. And then it cuts to the next scene. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Who does that?
It was
that's in my friend
group, are in Colorado.
In my friend group, that's when somebody reaches across and goes, shut the fuck up.
So they're all estranged, all this kind of stuff. And then, of course, the messages start happening. But because we're in 2006, the main girl gets text messages on her Motorola flip phone, 50 of them.
Well, I mean, it's a lot better than I got a letter.
Well, and they play with that, right? Because she wakes up from her bed and there's a letter next to her on her nightstand, and it's from her parents because they're going out of town. So they're like, oh, okay, now they're going out of town now, but nope, that doesn't really play into it.
I hated the rocker chick that clearly wasn't singing or doing, at one point she picks up a guitar, she's being really melodramatic. She's just turning shit on it. I'm like, stop, what are you doing? You just picked up that man's guitar, now you're fucking with all the knobs on it. Cut it out.
Whatever soundtrack they try to put here is
new metal or
I Yeah, it was like,
late
this is
night.
why I hated the music from like this middle aughts. Like
I
this
think you should
was,
shut your mouth and just
and
understand that there's a musical preference for everybody, and don't
I
you shit on music like
did
this.
not like this music. And it was funny too, Steve, because I'm like, this happened in 2006. The first movie was like was 98, right? Like, so it was like more my age group. And I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, this is so Steve's age group. I was like worried. I'm like,
Nah,
Steve's
but I
gonna
mean,
somehow love
2006. I
this.
was out of
I
school
mean, you
5
were a
years
little,
ago.
yeah, you were a little older, but they all looked a lot older than being high school kids anyway. So, but I was like, this is, and then the music, and I'm like, yeah, I'm wondering if Steve's gonna be digging on some of this stuff.
The crazy thing was like they're at this party, and the main girl was like, "Oh yeah, when Colton comes back, my boyfriend, like we're gonna do this and this and this," and they're like, "Turn around." And this fool is just like chilling at this party drinking. Like it's so wild. Like it's like audacious. Like I was kind of sucked into the story at this point. I'm like, look at this piece of shit. What the fuck is he doing here?
And
And
so they all, yeah,
I love his excuse. He's like, "Well, I just didn't work out. I was gonna tell you." Like, what? You really want to do this now? Like, as opposed to what? When?
yeah,
You're here.
he was a dick, but and he was trying to play that Ryan Phillippe dick from like when they got back from
He
their
did
first
fine.
year
He
of
looks like
college.
Zach Wilson, the Broncos quarterback.
He does. He's got that. Yeah, he's got that look.
He looks exactly like Zach Wilson.
But then, like, they're going around. Everyone's getting messages. He gets a message in like the water when he's a lifeguard, and it just like fades away. I know what you
I
did.
imagined like one of your Disney water artists out there with the little mop thing, the little water sponge.
Yeah, where you
doing
make
that.
the little Mickey face and
Yeah.
everything. It's great. Those guys are awesome.
Like the slicker doing that, like with his fucking.
Those guys are awesome. And so, and then like this other guy gets roped in, who's the cousin of the kid who got murdered. He gets it like scratched into his bike, and so we
But
find out
he
that
didn't do anything. Oh, but he
no,
knew about it
he knew about it because he knew the prank that they were
before it
planning the
happened.
prank, and he didn't tell the dad. And then we find out the deputy knew about it because like the other guy kind of confessed.
And everybody in this town's crushing on the main girl, even the cops, which is weird.
Yeah, I was like, this is very creepy.
Call me. God damn,
And
bro.
so like they're being kind of harassed by a guy in a slicker. Like
Kinda.
that's what we're getting to.
But like
Kinda.
we haven't even seen the guy in the slicker. They're just getting messages and they're like freaking out about
and
it.
this is 50 minutes in the movie.
No
And
slicker
I'm like,
yet.
what is happening? Why is this dragging out even more so than the other movies? At least like the other one, like you had the Johnny Galecki like death in the trunk scene. We got his murder. You get things happening. This one, no, nothing until the very end.
But then once the killing starts, when they go to this thing where the girl's having her show, I want to go talk to the.
Well,
the
there's
from
one
LA
death
are gonna
before
be
that. There's one good practical death
Oh,
with the
kid, the one guy
kid
that
who had
wore the suit.
yeah, who he wore the slicker. He gets his throat slit by the hook. Good practical kill, practical effects on screen. I was like, okay,
Main character death on screen, good.
you're moving to that sidekick territory. You're moving. And like you said, then we get
Because you
like
gotta cut them a break. You can tell they had no money, so you're like,
Oh
all right,
my
I'm
God.
trying to fucking catch up a break where I can. You're showing kills on screen. The acting is not terrible, so the video quality is not great.
Yeah.
I can forgive a lot of stuff if I can tell that they're trying.
But then again, I was getting angry with these pretentious, weird nature shots that were kind of,
Well, yeah, because the
like,
main girl's a fucking photographer, so you're like, I guess.
why? Yeah, but this has nothing to do. It's not like she's out there taking these shots and then it's like it's going there. It's just random shots. It's like I need to extend this runtime, so let me do this slow-mo shots.
Remember when she like gets all in her like bought right out of the catalog bike riding outfit, and then goes and rides out to go like take pictures?
Yeah, and then there's this random guy who then just takes her down. Oh, it's gonna storm out here. I gotta get you out of here. It's like what? Well, what? Who's that guy? And then like nothing.
Like she's out there. You're like, oh, this is gonna be a good scene. Her tires all fucked up. Somebody cut it very obviously with a sharp object. Like here we go, and then no,
Nothing. just like the rocker girl who's sleeping and her whole bed around her or her couch is cut up.
She was fucked up. She passed out. She wasn't sleeping. She was
Right.
out.
She
She was
passed
on.
out and she had 2 back-to-back nightmare fake scare scenes.
Yes.
Which again, you do that in a movie, especially twice, I hate you. I do not like this.
I don't. Yeah, there's no. It's unnecessary.
Unless it's a Nightmare on Elm Street where people are falling asleep and that's purposeful.
You're filling
This,
time though. That was like
no.
it was a whole minute that meant nothing.
More so, it was long scene too. This first
but I've been seeing that a little. Just like in general in movies and shows, I've been seeing that like there's
Fake
a
out.
lot of time spent on shit that doesn't really move anything forward.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
nobody wants to make a short film anymore. Everybody needs to drag out that runtime. So okay, so now the chaos ensues, right? So
she
she
has this musical performance, which the song wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. But like, it was not played live. You know,
the ADR was picked up very, very well here. And then she gets taken out. I did like her kill as well.
She was killed good. She
got hooked up, you know, in the gut, picked up and thrown up.
And you think it's you think it's at this point, I'm thinking like it's probably the sheriff, right? It's the kid's dad. He's the one doing the shit. Like it has to be him. Like, and I knew that it probably wasn't gonna be, but maybe it was gonna be like maybe that kid had a girlfriend or one of the chicks or something was doing it, something like that. But like there was like a whodunit aspect that I was really intrigued by here, especially when like the sheriff comes and gets it right here. Like, and I thought that was an effective kill. Like he's standing there and he's like, "Where is he?" And then like just a hook comes out of the dark ass shadow, wham, yanks him back into it. You're like, God damn! Like,
no, so it's not the dad.
That's pretty good.
So what I thought was, because I was like, you know, this movie would do a cheap thing. There was this one scene where the deputy guy, I'm calling him the deputy, I don't know what he is, but the cop that was hitting on the main girl, and like they go to his house to kind of confess, and there's like a cop dinner going on there, like they're barbecuing or something. So there's all those cops around the table that were kind of giving like this weird look around at each other. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna play with multiple killers here, and it's gonna be this group of people. It's not gonna be one. That would be this group of people because they fucked their town up and made them run around this town looking for a guy in a slicker that didn't exist and caused them a world of pain. And so now
that would have been a sidekick. That would have launched it up into sidekick. Right, maybe now all of a sudden you have territory.
Because here in this part where the you know the fisherman's coming out, I swear in a few scenes it felt like he was in multiple places at once, and it felt like there was multiple guys.
He was.
I know. And this is where the movie goes to shit. Because
it comes and what sucks is it comes after another awesome kill where the cop is like fucking he's standing there and the fucking slicker guy comes out and he's like bam, he shoots him with a shotgun. And this was actually filmed pretty cool, like how the camera went really close to the gun and then like and like he was like taking the shots and I'm like, okay, bulletproof vest, leading more into your cop theory. Right, it's all the old cops, not the young guy. So, and then, you know, the killer comes and he fucking hooks him, almost looks like he hooks him right in the dick, picks him up and like shoves him onto a forklift. And you're like, right through the blade, like right through his chest. I'm like, damn, that's good. This is good shit.
Yep.
and then it
shits the bed right here.
They fuck it up because like the killer gets to the couple, they're in the car and he's swinging the hook around and the girl grabs a prop hook that they had, like a replica that they had used to do the prank, pulls that hook out, stabs him, and all this black goo comes out of him and he disappears into the shadows. And then it's revealed that it's actually the same killer from the first 2 movies as a ghost. And that's not a joke. That's really what happens.
Yeah.
It's the ghost of the killer from the first 2 movies.
And he's got
for reasons.
And he's got like a Freddy Krueger look to him. It looks burnt and, you know, water, you know, because he was drowned, right? And then he was buried. I don't know. He's
lumpy.
all nasty and whatever, but
And
it's
he
not
makes like
good.
screeching sounds like, like it's
Yeah.
like
And they okay, so I'm just gonna get to the end.
I did like the bit in the oil change area where they were like in that pit area. I did that job for a little while. I know what it is to be in those little oil pit change areas.
Yeah.
And that's a good area to like have a once, like a
It-
back and forth. Like that's a cool setting.
If
I
again,
was
if
I
you
was
did it
I was pulled out of the movie at this point,
right.
so it didn't matter. But I was like, ooh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, if you did it right, if you had a realistic killer, sure. That would have been great. Again, this would have fallen the sidekick. If you had one of those other cops, I would have been mad at the cheat because you showed him for 3 seconds, but guess what? Other movies have done it and I would have been fine. Or if you showed a
Like
couple of them.
again, he had his arm around some chick at the beginning, and I think it was the rocker chick. But like that guy JP or PJ or whoever that died, I'm like, he could have had a girlfriend. One of those girls that came up to the main girl at the party in the beginning. Like it could have been some jilted.
Yeah.
It could have been anybody, but like a
Anybody.
real person. Please make it a real person.
Not the ghost that had nothing to
And you
that has
already
nothing to tie in with
no other than like,
with
well,
the first two movies.
we used his likeness, so he got mad. Like, is this like his way of sending an NDA? Like like not an NDA, a
It's
cease
not
and
good.
desist.
But
Like-
here's what made me even more mad, right? He disappears in the shadows after getting sliced and black goo comes out. And it's like, well, he's a ghost. He's a spirit. So how the hell are you slicing him? One. Then they say, must be something with the hook. There must be something with it because he was hit by the hook. Then they throw him in this weird combine wood chipper thing, right?
Wait a second.
And they kill him that way. How?
But it was after she hooked him in the head, I guess. So he was like already near death, I guess. But like, okay, so
Does that make him then reality?
The hooks, they said in the beginning that the hook they got was $39 on eBay, and they said it was the real one. One, there's no way. Two, like, okay, so let's just take that and like, so maybe it was the real one. But then after Colton cuts his arm at the campfire, he throws that hook into the lake.
Where the hell did they get it from?
And then the next time I see it is in the glove compartment of that car in the third act. Was there a scene I missed where they went and they talked about like how like maybe that Randy guy or whoever that worked at the ski lift, the guy that got killed first, maybe he like went and got it,
fished it out? No, I mean they said he had it because they found it there, like they had the prop, but they kept calling it a prop. So I don't know. But again, dumb.
I didn't like
and
how she got him in the head,
him.
and he's like, "Arr!" And then she like just like does this weird like, ugh! Like she like runs into him.
Checks him. Yeah, hip checks him into
like a hockey move on ground, like from a little girl to a large entity. I don't know.
Ghost. Yes, a ghost.
I thought it like
it's a fucking ghost.
I thought it looked better when he got sucked into that chipper thing than what was that movie we watched where that chick got sucked into that thing at the end? It was like terrible. Oh, it was
Shredder.
She got pulled in. Look, at least the ending of this looked better than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with that, but still, Ghost, I'm done. I was done. It's like, no, you cannot do this.
We got a year later, so we know we got to get.
Oh my god!
We got to get the same ending as all the other movies. So she blows a tire. She's in the Nevada desert. She pulls over, and he's just behind her, like standing there, like,
with red eyes, with red beady eyes. Because now he's got red eyes for some odd reason too.
Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be one of those ones that's if they do make a legacy sequel, which it sounds like they're working on a legacy. They're calling it a legacy sequel. That it would just completely ignore the events of this movie matter not to anything that goes on. If they bring back Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr., then none of this matters.
No, and it won't, because I think that's the goal is to bring them back and Brandy back, and because they all survived part 2. So, but no, this, and if this does matter, if they somehow tied this one into that, I'm done with that one. No, he's not a ghost. No ghost.
That's like a bridge too far.
Yeah, that's just making Ghostface Killer and Scream movies a fucking entity.
Look. The first I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, like I thought that it would be a fun to go back and rewatch them because I had fond memories of the first one.
Yeah,
and you know what? that one doesn't even hold up that well.
No.
The second one certainly doesn't. And this third one is just atrocious. I'm just like, I know that I don't even know what a legacy sequel would be. Like, who cares? Like, I don't need any more of this Billy guy. Like, he can't be alive again. Like, and I'm thinking about how, like, ridiculous this all is. You know what else was ridiculous? Was that this man from wherever the fuck Massachusetts they were living.
No, I think were they in Seattle? Were they in Massachusetts?
I thought they were on the East Coast fishing.
Maybe they were. Maybe
I'm thinking they're on the East Coast. Either way, okay, whatever, East, West Coast. Either way, in the second movie, they go to the fucking Bahamas, and that's where his family is buried on this one. Come on, man.
Yeah. Like and his son was the one that was, stalking Jennifer Love Hewitt and stuff. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Like, no, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, I know what you did last summer. Franchise is pretty beat at this point. It's pretty.
And now they had a TV series, right? I didn't watch it. I did not want to.
It got canceled after one season. So
did it? Oh, it did. Well, there you go. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's it for. I always know what you did last summer, or is that whatever it's called. I don't even care what it's called anymore. It's called trash.
It's trash.
So thank you for listening. Hope you like, subscribe, comment.
Our review is way better than the movie.
And
shorter. Yeah. You didn't have to spend 2 hours sitting through that shit.
Oh, God. And this is a Lil.
And this is Steve. Until tomorrow night, everybody, keep it creepy.